Hi and welcome to another Free.volous episode. So because spring has sprung or is springing as we speak, I thought it would be interesting to talk to you about my winter skincare routine. Now, looking back and seeing what I've used, I usually adjust things according to my skin's moods and the weather and all of that, but it has been a pretty steady set of steps in my routine, and I only adjust some things depending on if the weather is drier or more humid, or my skin is oilier or drier. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy this video and interact with me in the comments so that I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. Thank you. So, first disclaimer. I'm sorry I will have to do this, but what works for me may not work for you, and that's okay. We can still be friends. Second thing, the equivalent to brushing your teeth every single day for skin, which does exist because your skin is also an organ, also needs maintenance and help, would be cleansing your skin correctly, applying a moisturizer that is adequate to your skin's needs, and using an SPF. That's the basic. From then on, what we add, to a certain extent, because we are talking about topic products and there's a level above which it can't go any further. It won't do a surgical procedure on your face. But what we do otherwise to our face, what we add is to help to deal with certain mild issues that we may encounter, and of course using scientifically based information. If you have severe problems, of course, you need to see a specialist, be it a doctor or an esthetician, a facialist, whomever can help you with your issues. But yeah, there is so much that skincare can do, but it's not stupid. It is an act of self-care, but it's not just that. It is possible to improve your skin quite a bit with just skincare. Now let's talk about my skin. To give you a little bit of context, I have combination skin, which is usually more on the oilier side, but I have the occasional dryness, and it's oilier in the summer or when it's more humid or hot, or when I sweat a lot, you know. Ever since I was 12, I had severe acne. When I was 23 or 24, I did a couple of very harsh treatments that made the acne disappear for a couple years, and then it came back milder, but it was with me for the rest of my life up until about a year or two ago, when I think I don't know if my hormones, probably my hormones helped a lot, because most of this is genetics and hormones, but I also find a sort of my groove within skincare, and it has been stabilizing. I don't know what's coming, but for now it's sort of, I cannot say I have acne. I have blemishes that show up once in a while, and maskne. When my skin was finally clearing out, maskne became a thing. And other than that, other than the acne or the blemishes, the thing with my skin is that ever since I did those treatments, I am very prone to post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, PIH, which is the red mark that is left after the blemish is gone. But on me, it doesn't only stay there as post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. It then evolves into a dark spot that stays with me forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And also, I'm 41, and this is the life that has happened to my face up until now, meaning loss of elasticity, some things dropping down, and fine lines and wrinkles and all that stuff. Now let's talk about the actual routine, shall we? The first thing I do, if you know me, and you do know me, the three of you guys, is double cleanse. And because even though I may not be wearing makeup every single day, I will damn sure be wearing sunscreen. I like to go for my first cleanse with an oil-based cleanser that I can use around my eyes, that I can massage on my face, and it will melt everything down. And if I want, I can even just rinse it off, but I usually prefer to use a washcloth, a very soft microfiber washcloth, to remove everything, because that's how I feel my skin is the cleanest, and I go to the second cleanse without any residue. And the ones that I'm currently using, because I keep, you know, several on rotation, this is the most iffy part of my routine. This is the Hamish All Clean Balm, one of my all-time favorites. It's one of those coconut oil sort of textures, and great performance. And the other one, I'm almost out of it. It's the Jordan Samuel After Show Cleanser, Treatment Cleanser. This was with Caroline Harron's Spring Kit, so it's been almost a year and 12 months on the packaging, but I'm almost out of it. I'm really enjoying it, and this goes almost like a gel to oil cleanser. Really like it. I've used several others. You can check my Instagram. I always post some of my more memorable empties there. Second cleanse, again, if the first one depends on my mood and how luxurious I want to feel, the second one depends on how I want my skin to feel later. So if my skin is oilier, I will go with something foaming but not non-stripping like this. This is the Paula's Choice Defense. Been really loving this hydrating gel to cream cleanser. It does foam up, but it is a very creamy foam. It's not stripping at all. And then I didn't bring them over here, but if my skin is really sensitive, CeraVe Hydrating Cleanser is a classic. I always have a bottle of that. And the other one is also by Paula's Choice, and it's the Resist line. It's the blue cream cleanser. I will put a picture here. And those two are great when my skin is really sensitive and I don't want anything that is too abrasive. Next is something that I've added recently, and it's peptides, which are meant to help a lot. I've heard a podcast from the EcoWell, I'll link it down below, all about peptides, and I was really interested. But I decided to start with the ones that are more raved about, which is the copper peptides. This is the NIOD Copper Amino Isolate Activated 2.1. And these are the hardest to introduce to your routine because they don't get along with either exfoliating acids nor vitamin C, I've heard. I don't know if it's derivatives too, but I don't care. I use both on my AM routine. So this fit right into my PM routine. It's a blue liquid, sinks into the skin, smells like metal. Is it working? I don't know. I really hope, because it's expensive. These are more cutting edge. There isn't a lot of research on them yet. But the most researched ones with very good results are the Matrixyl ones and the Argireline, if I'm not mistaken. Those are the two types of peptides that have been really researched and that have good backing behind them. Now, this is the part of my routine that if I had to strip everything down, I would stay with double cleanse, this and a moisturizer if needed, and that's it. And that's the retinal. This is the Medik Crystal Retinal. This is number 10. I've recently used up the number 6, which is the one I started with. Retinal is a vitamin A derivative, and it is one conversion stage away from becoming tretinoin. So it's really easy for your skin to convert it. And, you know, it's quicker to start acting. And this is microencapsulated, so it keeps on delivering throughout time, and it doesn't all start acting at the same time on your skin, so it becomes less harsh. Despite being the closest to tretinoin in terms of effects, it doesn't have as many harsh effects as, say, tretinoin or other retinoids. And I must say, on my skin, from my experience, I haven't had any side effects. You know, the dryness, irritation. When I use tretinoin, usually I have to buffer it before and after using it with hydrating and moisturizing products, and I can only get to use it twice a week or 3 times a week at most, because it starts to peel, and my skin never gets to a steady moment with a tretinoin, you know. With this, I had no irritation whatsoever, and I really quickly started using this daily, with or without moisturizer afterwards. So, yeah. And my skin, I can see results. My skin is more refined. I noticed that my lines, they are still there, they are far less pronounced. This is doing its job. and I'm really happy. The next step is my last step, and it's mixing two products. One is the moisturizer, and again, this depends on how my skin is feeling, with niacinamide. This is the Geek It Gorgeous 101 Bee Bomb. It's 10% niacinamide and zinc. And I've talked about this, and although most moisturizers and many other products on your skincare, you can look it up, probably have niacinamide, the ones that I'm using, actually, I don't think they do. So I decided to add it because it has been discovered that niacinamide and retinoids are a great combination when it comes to hyperpigmentation. I had to have niacinamide on my routine, and what I mix it with, if my skin is on the oilier side and I just want something lightweight on my skin, this is the Paula's Choice Omega Complex Serum. This has all the good things for your skin barrier. I prefer the serum to the moisturizer. The moisturizer is one of those sort of whipped, almost barely silicone-y textures that I'm not the biggest fan of. I much prefer the serum, which is a creamy lotion, I would say. They go perfectly well together. The other one is a bit heavier for when my skin is drier. This is the COSRX Comfort Ceramide Cream. Again, barrier protection, ceramide, centella asiatica, lots of good soothing and occlusive ingredients, and they mix perfectly. And if my skin is very dry, or if I want to feel like I'm in a spa and I really want my skin to look glossy, and you know, there are some days in which I need that, this is my most recent discovery. This is the Hada Labo Perfect Gel. I do not like gel moisturizers. They're the ones that usually set on your skin. They're made for oily skin and they set on your skin and they pill. Not a fan. But this is, I don't know, it feels like, it looks like an oil on your skin almost. I hope you can see this. And I'm going to apply this to my hand, and I'll have my glossy hand, and it stays super moisturized for hours, you know? It feels like it's super lightweight, but when you touch your skin, it's still there. And sometimes I need this. For my eyes, I'm using the Medik Eyelift Peptides. This is more of a serum than an eye cream. I sometimes use this under just a hydrating eye cream that I have lying around because it's not heavy enough, or I just apply lots of moisturizer on top of it. I do notice results with this. Don't get me wrong, my eye area is super smooth and it looks less wrinkly when I use this. The thing is, this feels more like a serum, and it has quite a bit of alcohol, so it feels sort of drying, and the alcohol, when it's evaporating for a few seconds, it can sort of almost sting your eyes, which is weird. And it does pill, so I cannot use this in the daytime. As I said, this does work, but I like to apply an eye moisturizer on top of it, just because it's not heavy, creamy enough for me. Lastly, once or twice a week, I go with exfoliation, and I just double cleanse, and I use these kinds of products that are one and done steps. So the first one, you've heard me talk about this ever since this channel existed, or basically. This is the Good Genes by Sunday Riley. This is the lactic acid version, which is harder to come by, but it's the one that I love. I've tried other lactic acid sort of products. Nothing comes close to this. I don't know what it is. And as I said, this is a one and done kind of step. This has moisturizing ingredients, so you just apply this and you go to bed if you want to. And you can go with a moisturizer on top of it, of course, but on its own, it's not drying or anything. And my skin looks absolutely gorgeous in the AM. And the other product that I use is this is the old packaging, the Alpha H Beauty Sleep Power Peel with 0.5% retinol and I think 15% glycolic acid. This glycolic acid treatment is fantastic. I can only use it a couple of times a week. This does tingle. The Good Genes does not tingle on me. I know it does tingle on some people, but if my barrier is okay, it does not tingle, but this does every single time. This is a bit harsher, and I prefer to use this when my skin is a bit more breakouty and oily and I'm having a few more blemishes. This is the one I go for. Again, you can use it on its own or go over it with a moisturizer. And these are the only products that I use as an exception. Sometimes I add an oil if I want a bit more of a pampering, but I don't do much more than what I've shown you in this routine. This is my nighttime skincare routine. I know this sounds like a lot of products, but I have a lot of them on rotation depending on my skin's moods. If you think in terms of steps, I have double cleansing, I have the peptides, I have the retinal, and then I have a moisturizer. So it's 4 steps. Not too much. It doesn't take too much time, I swear. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a like, comment down below. What is your skincare routine in the PM? And as usual, thank you for spending your time on me. And I'll see you on my next video. Bye!